Reading The Alchemist got me fired, and it was a good job. It paid well, I had friends there, I even liked my boss. Then COVID hit, and I didn't have a lot to do. It was a good time to read The Alchemist because it's all about finding your personal legend, which is basically your personal path towards ultimate fulfillment. I thought it was just gonna be a fun book that would teach me about myself, but it actually made me realize that that job wasn't part of my personal legend. From that point on, I just couldn't get myself to be as enthusiastic about my job. But the thing about sales is you have to believe in what you're doing. You have to believe that you're in the right place, or at least I do. And so eventually I switched out of sales and I switched into client success. Client success was not the right place for me. It drove me nuts just having people complain to me all day long. So eventually I booked a 90-day round trip ticket to Guatemala with plans to quit. And I was about to leave when I got a calendar invite from my boss. I still remember the lightness I felt when my boss first said, "Today is your last day here." It actually turned out to be an amazing blessing. You know, the company treated me well. They paid me a severance check. They paid out outstanding commissions that I had. And it allowed me to go to Guatemala with this clean slate, this lack of any sort of attachment to my former life. It was crazy because I was actually planning on quitting in the next week. So they beat me by only a few days. And then a few weeks later, I found myself in Guatemala, sipping coconut water, traveling to places like Lake Atitlan or Xela or Tikal. And I was so much closer to my personal legend only a few weeks later, just because I had been released from this job that no longer fit me. Who knows? If I hadn't read The Alchemist, I might still be in that job. Or maybe I wouldn't have been fired, or I would have just found something else. But I do know that because I read it, I'm now way closer to my personal legend. It took some pain, it took some struggle, and it took some time. But I'm now much happier and much more fulfilled than I ever was at that old job.